Okay. Hello, class. I look forward to learning something today with you. So, before we just jump right into it, there's a video. I'm going to help walk you through this video where we describe the three rhetorical devices: ethos, logos, and pathos. So, listen up. Here's the video's a little
Kind of like
goofy.
Larry, Curly, and Moe. We all hate losing arguments. It feels good to be right, but it feels even better to convince someone else that you're right, and then maybe rub their face in it a little bit. Woo! What if you had a bag of tricks that you could go to anytime you felt someone needed a little persuading? Thanks to Aristotle, the great thinker from ancient Greece,
I'm smarter than you.
we have three such tricks that will often get the job done. They're not foolproof. In other words, they won't usually get you out of mowing the lawn or doing the dishes. But if you're writing an argument essay and want a reader to see, understand, and agree with your point, these tricks are the bee's knees. Collectively, they are referred to as rhetorical devices. You want to know what they are? Sorry, that's a rhetorical question. The three devices are called ethos.
So, we're just going to go over a rhetorical question. What is a rhetorical question? You can type it in, and it's basically is a question you ask when you don't expect an answer. Okay, so it might be something that's not the best example he gave, because it's. Do you want to know what they are? Because you might expect the class to say yes, but it's sort of like, who do you think you are, or what's the dealer? What's or yeah, it's like, how dare you? Like they're saying it. You're not going to respond. They don't expect you to respond. So a rhetorical question is a question that's there more than make a statement. You're asking a question, but you're really making a statement instead. Okay, so let's go back to the video.
Sorry, that's a rhetorical question. The three devices are called ethos, pathos, and logos. Once you've mastered these tools, you'll be able to write a stellar essay, win political debates, and sell just about anything on late night television. Let's start with ethos. Ethos means moral character. When the speaker uses ethos, he's trying to persuade his audience by convincing them that he's a good guy. So if you pin someone up against a wall and demand that they prefer Coke to Pepsi, it's probably not the most effective means of persuasion. But if that same person gets the sense that you're a decent human being who just wants to discuss the subject in a calm manner, he may be more willing to see another side of the issue. But moral character alone isn't going to get her done. Enter pathos. Pathos means emotion. As a rhetorical device, pathos gets us to stop thinking and start feeling. Something political pundits seem to have down to a science.
Okay, so we're going to backtrack a little bit to ethos. So ethos, this video defined it as moral character. Okay. But I'm going to explain it a little further. So ethos is make your argument based on the credibility of the speaker slash writer, author of the speaker slash author. Okay, so our credibility is a creed, which is belief. It's how much you can believe. Credibility is basically the same as trustworthiness, reliability. See, I'm not the best speller. Reliability, trustworthiness, reliability, how much you believe someone. Basically, how much you believe someone or trust them. Okay, so in building credibility as a writer, often they when they talk about ethos, it's someone's like, as a teacher, do what you say. Am I the teacher or are you the teacher? I'm basically saying I'm the teacher. Listen to me because I'm the teacher. I'm the principal. I am this person of, it's a title, will give you ethos right away. A great example in the military, they don't need to say you have, if you have stripes that you're a lieutenant, you don't have to tell, everyone below you has to do, but if you're a general, the lieutenant has to do. They immediately have ethos. People say he knows what he's doing because he has this title. um, the degree gives you ethos. Now when you're writing an essay, often you're anonymous. So how do you develop ethos? One way you develop ethos in your essay is with grammar, with the way you construct your sentences. You'll notice uh, you notice advertisements are written in a certain way. The way advertisers speak, even if it's just some random person talking for State Farm, it's like, in State Farm, you're in good hands. They speak with a deep voice, calmly. They build credibility. You don't know who the person is, but the way they're speaking makes you think, I can trust this person. So often you build ethos in your writing just by making it grammatically correct, using formal language, using keeping a formal tone in your writing is a way to keep ethos, to keep yourself looking credible. Okay, of course, in certain arguments, you can write, as a student of St. Demetrius or as a person who's lived in New York my whole life, I believe that it's important to have great delis. And people will say, oh, I believe him because he's from New York in college. I worked in the cafeteria, and in the cafeteria, they'd often put me in the deli just because I was from New York. They'd assume, oh, he knows deli meats well because New York is known for its delis. Um, so I had some credibility regarding how to work at a deli. Of course, it was a cafeteria deli, so they had like 3 meats and 2 cheeses. Anyone could do it. But so that was something ethos based on yes, but the best way to build ethos in your writing is basically keep the grammar mistakes low. If, let's say, you see me typing and, like I just said, I was worried, oh no, I misspelled a word a little bit. It got the red line. You might say, well, who is this guy? How's he teaching us? If you don't know how to spell, you don't know these words. So these little things might not be that important to the actual point, but how you present your cases, how you compose your sentences can build ethos. So now let's go on to pathos, meaning emotions.
Character alone isn't going to get her done. Enter pathos. Pathos means emotion. As a rhetorical device, pathos gets us to stop thinking and start feeling. Something political pundits seem to have down to a science. Oh yeah. Feelings.
Okay, this guy's annoying. So pathos, now that's an important thing. Stop thinking and start feeling. So pathos is basically argument based on an appeal to emotion. You're getting people's emotions involved. Now that's very powerful. Very often you use pathos in your hook. It's a great way to get a good hook, is to get feelings involved, something that'll get people's feelings interested in your essay. And it's good to use pathos throughout your writing, even because that's what gets people to actually change their mind. That's what gets it the strongest. It gets people to keep reading, first of all, and it gets people to agree with you in a strong way. You want someone, if you're making an argument, to not to be like, okay, I guess he's right, to feel it, to say, oh wow, he's right, and I'm gonna do something. Because if you don't feel something, you're not gonna do something. So let's get back to the video.
Does this mean we have to get all lovey-dovey and mushy-washy? Well, no, but sometimes appealing to someone's softer side can do the trick. If you're trying to convince a reader that crude oil is bad for the environment, don't just cite figures and fill up the pages with a bunch of charts and graphs. Talk about the animals that are affected, Bambi, and often killed when there's a spill. It will only help your case if you can get your reader to cry over spilled oil. And then there's the third and final rhetorical device, logos. Logos means reason, think, logic. Here is where all those aforementioned charts, graphs, and figures come into play. But it's also about explaining to your reader in clear and concise terms why they should logically agree with your point of view.
Why? Okay, so it's explaining in clear and concise terms. Let me just explain. Concise, it basically just means straight and to the point. Con means connect. It means come together. And so it's basically bringing it all together in a clear point. That's what it is. So short and sweet. It's concise. Basically, you could say is short and sweet. So I'm going to just write this down for logos. Argument based on logic and reason. It's like logic, but not always logic. So often this is the one where you could use objective facts, of course. Pathos is much more subjective. It's someone's feelings. Credibility is also somewhat subjective, but because it'll always be subjective. So a general has credibility, and it is objectively higher rank than, let's say, a sergeant. So that is objectively different, but it is still subjective. Like, any credibility is subjective. So someone might say, I don't care what generals think. I think we should do it some other way. Of course, like I said in the other video about subjectivity, it's subjective, but pretty much it is. If someone is make their way to be a general, the chances are they know a lot more than someone who's just a sergeant. But anyway, so this is logos uses often objective facts, but at the same time there's some subjectivity. So it's reasoning. It's like, if this happens, if we get pizza for our school, then we can use that, then we will be happier. We're going to have the students will be happier and they'll work harder. It's using reason to explain. Whereas if I were to be more pathos, it would be like, please, I love pizza. It's delicious. Please. Okay. So based on logic, often it is like you see if something, then something else. Like, this is because of this. So it's, okay, so let's continue the video.
It's about providing concrete evidence to support your claims. If you can make them feel stupid for daring to think anything different, all the better. But watch the name calling there. Nerd! So when writing an argument essay, don't set pen to paper without the big three in your corner. Ethos, meaning moral character, pathos, meaning emotion, and logos, meaning reason. You may also want to use Oreos, which won't add anything to your argument, but they sure are delicious.
Okay, well, that's the video.
Big Fat Review. Ethos. Moral character. Used when trying to persuade audience that a character is a good person. Pathos. Emotion. A rhetorical device used to get readers to stop thinking and start feeling. Logos. Reason. Using clear and concise terms to help readers see logically why they should agree with your point.
Okay, well, that's it.
Whoa.
Okay, it's a little bit goofy, but it's trying to use. Well, I guess that's not it. It's just trying to entertain. So anyway, I hope you had a great. You learned something, and feel free to message if there's any confusion. The assignment with this will be due at the end of Thursday. At the end tomorrow. Okay. Or if you're watching it and it is Thursday, by the end of today, it should be. I, of course, am accepting late work due to all the extenuating circumstances. Have a great day.